Hello viewers, hope you're doing well. Today in this video, I'm going to create and call get card by user API in our Node and React.js application. So let's get started. First, I'm going to create an API in our Node.js application. As you can see, a function that we have add book to cart in a cart service. So let me duplicate this. Update the function name that we have fetch card by user. So it will be a async function. Inside the argument, it will get a user ID. Now inside this function, we have to get an active order by user and status that we have pending. With an order, we have to get cart item. Let me extend this query. So the path that we have cart item. From cart item, we have to get a books. So the path that we have book. After getting an active order, we have the if condition where we have to check if active order null, then we have to return this function where we have a status for data that we have active order not found. After if condition, let me move this. So here I'm going to return the response where we have a status 200 and the data that we have active order. Let me export this function. After that, let's go to a cart controller. So on the top, let me import a function that we have fetch cart by user. After importing it, let me duplicate this function. Update the function name that we have get cart by user. So it will be a async function. Inside the argument, it has callback parameters, request and response. Now inside this function, we have a try and the catch block. The catch block will catch an exception in case of API failing. Now inside the try block, I'm going to extract user ID from request.user. After that, let me call the function from card service that we have fetch card by user. Inside the argument of this, we have to pass here a user ID. We are saving a function response into this variable that we have response. After getting it, we have to return the response where we have a status and the message in the form of a JSON. After that, let me open here a cart route. So on the top, import a function from a cart controller that we have get cart by user. After importing it, let me duplicate this route. So a mapping that we have get the URL that we have slash after URL. We have a few middlewares authenticate JWT and the authorize role. After middlewares, we have to call the function from a cart controller that we have get cart by user. Now as you can see, a flow of a get cart by user endpoint. From this route, we are calling a function from a cart controller that we have get cart by user. From this function, we are calling a function from cart service that we have fetch cart by user. And this is the implementation of a fetch card by user function. Let me update the import inside a card controller. Let's call this endpoint from Postman. So first I'm going to generate a JWT. Let me copy this token. Let's go to the third tab, mapping that we have get. Let me add the token into this input. Now let's click on the send button. As you can see, the status we got 200. With this, we are getting the API response. Now after that, I'm going to call this endpoint from a React.js application. As you can see, a function that we have get books inside a customer service. So let me duplicate this. Update the function name that we have get cart by user. Inside this function, we have a try and the catch block. The catch block will catch an exception in case of API failing. Inside the try block, we have to call the endpoint from Node.js application where a mapping that we have get the path that we have slash API slash customer slash cart, and we have to return the response. Now I'm going to call this function from a cart component. So let me copy the code from a customer dashboard component. So as you can see, a function that we have fetch books. After that, we have a use effect hook. So let me copy these. Let me add inside a cart component. After that, let me copy a use state for a loading. Let me add inside a cart function, import a use state and a use effect hook. After importing these, I'm going to update the function that we have fetch cart by user. Inside this function, we have a try catch and the finally block get cart by user. We are saving the API response into this variable. After getting the response, we have to check the status. If a status 200, then we have to show a response.data in the console. So it will be a response.data, and we have to call this function inside a use effect hook. Now let's go back to the browser. As you can see, a network tab where we have a request status code 200. Let's go to the response tab, and as you can see, we are getting the API response. So that's all for now from my side. If you have any confusion, you can document. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.